Rock Hard Radio 1 presents from New York City, Rock Hard with Jay Conroy.
All right, you're listening to Rock Hard with Jay Conroy on rockhardradio1.com from New York City. Time for part 2 of our interview with DareDevil Squadron. Going to start off with a song of theirs called Faith, Hope, Love. I will see you on the other side of that. Got some more music before we go, so enjoy it. DareDevil Squadron.
I've got a beast in me. You don't run wild, but all the same, don't get too close, you'll see. When I let him out, he's got a real long chain. I learned the rules long time ago. The truth, go figure it out. I'll do without faith. I lost it long ago. Oh, I got none that I know. Love, walk out the door. Faith, hope, love, all forsaken me now. I'm gonna even the score. I've got a fire in me, and it gets harder in the night. Wait till dark and see. If you spark, I might ignite. I learned the rules a long time ago. You want the truth? Go figure it out. I'll do without faith. Lost it long ago. Oh,
right, Faith, Hope, Love. I like that song. It's got a different groove, a different vibe, more of a kind of a slowed down thing. Talk to me a little bit about that, because the top of this album starts off so very heavy and maiden, and then you guys go into something like this, which I find very cool. Tell me about it.
Well, I came up with most of the music on that one, or I started that idea anyway. And, it's got more of a slow, bluesy shuffle sort of
right, which is what
vibe,
I like.
Or some people call it a flat tire groove, when it's which I love that vibe, and I love playing it heavy, in a rock context like this. And I don't know, it just it fits in the sense that the rest of the songs on the album don't have that vibe, but it's
right.
It was missing in a way. We look at the collection of songs we already have, and we got a couple of fast ones, we got a couple like this, we got the prog one, and then we don't have like a slow bluesy one, so, and that's part of the rock vocabulary a little bit. So
now I know we talked about this a little bit, you being from France and talking tonight and hearing about your influences and that sort of thing. Did blues rock play a very big part in your upbringing at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I listened to, around those same years that I was talking about earlier, and Mark Knopfler, coming back to him always, he's very, very bluesy,
Yeah.
But I was listening to a lot of, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Johnny Winter and all those kinds of...
So guitar-oriented blues.
Yes, exactly,
I saw Johnny Winter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alice Cooper, Johnny Winter, Leslie West.
Yeah.
Jersey City, I don't even know. My mother took me, okay? Me and a buddy. And, Johnny Winter just ripped the place apart. I mean, I was there to see Alice Cooper. I was a little kid, big Alice Cooper fan. What the fuck was the name of that place? It was a stadium. The name escapes me right now, but they tore it down. I mean, it was falling down when I went there. I was like, the music's going to knock these walls right down, man. But I can't remember the place, but it was there for a long time.
The Aurelian came with this music, and it was just great to me to have us, create an open songwriting thing in the band, that it was like everybody working together. It's the kind of thing you really hope for, that you're never sure it's always going to work out. And when you make a record, you have to decide on pacing across the entire thing, and you got to mix it up, or you're going to exhaust people. And we made some decisions when we made this record, like I think like one of the best records ever made is Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy. Mm-hmm. I think that length, it's like 43 minutes or something like that. The number of songs on it, all that stuff really works for me in terms of attention span, what it accomplishes for the listener, all these things. So this group, and then it was like, lo and behold, Jason can play I love the way Jason plays a shuffle. So it was like kind of all that stuff falling together, and then it was just about coming up with a storyline that worked. I think we liked the fact that it has nothing to do with any of King's X's material, but Faith, Hope, and Love is a kind of an ode to a King's X record. But the lyric line about this is more about being faithless, hopeless, and loveless, rather than having those things. It's about not enjoying life in the absence of those things.
And the pacing thing, it's interesting because I noticed that listening to the album. I said, they had to sit down and decide what tracks go where. And I think that they paced it out, really well. I got to tell you, because it was like, it goes in a lot of different directions. Also, what you were saying before about, there being 45 minutes. Now, it's my theory that before CDs came out and you had a 12-inch album, you only had enough room for 45 minutes.
Right.
That's all you had.
Yep.
So 8-10 songs, then the CD comes out. Now it's like 70 fucking minutes.
Mess everything up
Because now it's like a double album, but
half of it's fucking filler.
There's still only two good songs
Right,
on the record.
that's
There's
the
just
problem.
more crap out in the universe.
Yeah, and I see more bands, especially newer bands, going fuck that, and they're coming out with a 10-song disc, and I like that.
And calling it an EP because it's not as long.
Yeah, right. But 14. It's like you say, the attention span, and I mean 14 tracks, especially a band. You know what? It's not even a band you don't know. Even a band 14 tracks can be a lot. I mean, there's bands I love. They put out an album. I'm like, all right, but it's about 4 tracks too long.
Yeah.
You could have skipped this, skipped that, skipped this. So.
Even the double album had a format that broke it up for you.
Right.
Like everybody knows side 3 of The Wall is the best side.
Right.
And then but depending on what mood you're in, you could put on side 1 or side 2. And then if you really had a whole evening to kill and there was somebody, you were mad at, you could listen to the whole record.
There it is.
I mean, The Clash, London Calling, that's an amazing double album, right? So, I mean, but you knew that the band was ambitious to have set out to make that double record,
Right.
But now it's just kind of like, well, yeah, let's put them all on there. That'll be great.
Yeah, and it tends to go in too many different directions and sort of loses the vibe of the album, for me,
And there were already records, from the heyday. I mean, there's some really famous records that I just think are proof that you could put anything on a record in the 70s. I'm like, really, guys? Really? Like, you had all that money, that you had that huge record company budget and everything, and you put that on the record?
Well, it was the cocaine.
That's like, yeah. My bad
That's when the
decisions
cocaine
abounded.
stopped
Yeah.
working. All right, when the last song was playing, I was basically just going to ask you about this song, but the reaction I got when I brought this up, I said, all right, wait, let's hold this for air because we need to talk about this. The last song, I believe it's the last song on the album. It's called Lillian, and it is so different than the rest of the album. And I said, let me ask you a question. Where did Lillian came from? Where did Lillian come from? And Angus immediately started cracking up, and I said, all right, hold it right there. Let's save it for the show. The mic is yours. Let me hear this.
Well, it's what makes me laugh is that now when I listen to the record, maybe I can hear it, but that just the fact that everybody feels that Lillian is so much different than all the rest of the material. I'm a little colorblind to that. Like, I think that
really, I'm not in the minority there.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of there's obviously a lot of really dark, heavy, Iron Maiden, Rainbow, Sabbath influenced stuff throughout the course of the record, and then that one is very straight up Thin Lizzy. It's written kind of like a ditty. It's written like a singing song, and so in that context, yeah, I understand the difference. But it is, it's still rocking. It's still a 2-guitar thing. It's an up tempo rock shuffle, and so I felt like, it had its own space. In terms of what it is as a song, it's literally a song that I started singing to my daughter when she was a baby. I would, she was, when the kid's that small, she basically sleeps next to or in the bed with you, right?
Right.
And then she wakes up in the morning, and I would hold her up. I'd be lying on my back, and I hold her up over me, so she's looking down at me, and her name's Lillian, and I started singing her this song, and that's what it became. So it has I know it has like a sweetness to it that's very authentic, resonates with people, and it does put it out of character from the rest of the record. But it was the 10th song we had, so we went ahead.
Well, now that you tell me that it was written about your daughter, that's a beautiful thing. So that takes it all off the table. If it's for your daughter, that's beautiful. Her name is Lillian. I think that's great. So let's play it.
Here comes Lillian walking down the street. A prettier girl I never did meet. She's got a smile that lights up my night. When she's around, everything is alright. Hope she don't a hurry. Oh, now Lily, don't be silly. You know I'll never leave you. And you can tell me anything you want. You know, darling, I'll always believe you. Lillian, oh, you're breaking my heart again. Lillian, Lillian, you're breaking my heart again. Lillian, there you go again. Lillian, there you go again. Lillian, guitar. Lillian, oh, you're breaking my heart again. Lillian, oh, you're breaking my heart again. Lillian, oh, you're breaking my heart again. Lillian, Lillian, you're breaking my heart again. Lillian, there you go 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 again. Lillian.
And a great song it is. Just so much different than everything else. You know, I was like, wow, these guys are all hard and heavy, but they have like a soft spot. You know?
Don't we all?
Don't we all? We certainly do. One of the cool things, you guys sent me some stuff of a gig you did in Brooklyn, some live stuff, which fucking kills.
Thank you.
It's a lot of the same stuff that's on your album, and I noticed, I'm like, man, these dudes can fucking cut it live. But one of the things I really thought was cool was the way that you guys come on. There's this whole pre-recorded thing, and that plays before you guys hit the stage. And I'm like, that is very arena like rock. You know, I mean, I know Aerosmith has this whole kind of thing, very similar with a video screen, very similar to this. So just check this out. This is how these guys come on. Do you still come on like this when you come on?
Yeah.
All right, check this out. This is cool.
Since the dawn of mankind, human beings have been fascinated with flight. The heavens, that vast canvas just out of our reach. Through years of trial and error, we have learned to harness wings and soar to the clouds and beyond. One band of brothers keeps this dream alive. They unleash an onslaught of true metal upon the world and the heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, squint skyward and listen. This is DareDevil Squadron.
I love that. You guys come out every time like that?
Yeah.
Play that before?
That's the idea, you know, trying to be theatrical, but as cheap as we can be, you know, and play in a little club, and we've got the little spinning police lights.
Right.
You know, everything's in the dark. We got that going, and we all stand, you know, in the dark, just waiting for the cue, you know, and getting the audience prepared.
The full walk on is, you know, while you're kind of getting in position and making sure your pedals work and checking the amp a little bit, you know, you do a little bit of walking around, fiddling, before everybody knows they're ready to go, is we're playing the
Top
Steve
Gun.
Stevens thing from the very opening credits of Top Gun, where the guys are walking around on the aircraft carrier, like getting the jet ready to take off and stuff like that.
How many times have you guys seen Top Gun? For Christ's sakes.
Come on, man.
Today? You mean today?
Today. That's a
Big Top Gun fans.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? But I think we're plundering for our next record. We're gonna plunder the right stuff to some degree, right?
You're not going to cover like New Kids on the Block, are you?
No.
Because you did cover Mumford and Sons.
and I'm still proud.
As you should be, because let's do that next. Because Mumford and Sons, I mean, they're like how would you describe them? It's my show. I don't want to talk too much shit. Go ahead.
They're what, British folk inspired? I mean,
and they're fucking huge. They top the charts, right? They sell out fucking arenas. So finally, everybody's like, Mumford and Sons, Mumford and Sons. So I'm like, let me check this out. I put it on. I'm like, this fucking sucks. I'm like, this is what's number fucking one. No wonder the country's in the fucking shape it's in, Mumford and Sons. I mean, even the name. I thought it was going to be like, it reminded me for some reason of like little puppets, like like Mumford, and Mumford is the big daddy puppet.
HR Puff and stuff.
Yeah, like something like that. I was like, what the fuck is this Mumford and Sons shit, So, I saw that you guys, what song was it? Oh, Little
Lion Man.
Little Lion Man. Now, I don't really know it from Mumford and Sons. I know it from you guys. Did Mumford and Sons have explicit lyrics in here?
Yes.
They did?
Yes.
Well, I'll give them a little more credit there.
Yeah. You got to give them that credit. And
that was the hook in their first song.
All right, so I'm sure a lot of people know this, even though I don't fucking know it because I don't listen to that kind of shit. But we're going to play this because, I didn't realize it was a cover till 3 or 4 times in. And then I was like, why is this song separate from the album when you sent me the stuff?
Right.
And then finally, I don't know, somewhere along the line, I was like, oh, that's what this is. Well, this is fucking interesting. We got to talk to him about this. So, all right, let's play this Mumford and Sons cover, Little Lion Man. But it fucking rocks. I'm telling you right now, fucking rocks. Here we go.
My man, you'll never be what is in your heart. Weak little lion man, you're not as brave as you were at the start. Rake yourself and rake yourself, take all the courage you have left. Waste it on fixing all the problems that you made in your own head. But it was not your fault but mine, and it was your heart on the line. I really fucked it up this time, didn't I, my dear? Didn't I, my dear? For yourself, my man, you know that you have seen this all before. Tremble, little lion man, you'll never settle any of your scores. Your grace is wasted in your face, your boldness stands alone among the wreck. Now learn from your mother, or else spend your days biting your own neck. But it was not your fault but mine, and it was your heart on the line. I really fucked it up this time, didn't I, my dear? But it was not your fault but mine, and it was your heart on the line. I really fucked it up this time, your fault but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really fucked it up this time. Deny my dear. Deny my dear.
All right, there it is, Little Lion Man. Now, what made you guys decide to record that song?
Well, first of all, I would say, you know, we like to think of that song, of that version, as really being the version of the song that they, Mumford and Sons, really wanted to
really
make.
wanted.
Yeah.
But their fans probably wouldn't have seen it.
I think the
that way.
I don't know. I think the fans would, you know, I think they got to hear this. They got to hear this.
You know, they're limited because that main guy, you know, he just plays the drum with his right foot while he's playing the guitar. You know, we have a proper drummer.
Yeah.
And you know, we have amps. Like they don't even have amps, right?
You know, and they're just, you know, they're beating their guitars and their fucking banjos and mandolins to shit, you know, trying to play this shit loud. Just plug into a Marshall and get a drummer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then that's how it sounds.
Well, I mean, we're all talking shit about them, but meanwhile, they're like fucking #1 everywhere they go, and you know, selling out fucking arenas.
Well,
so.
yeah, but we're way cooler.
Well, yeah.
We're more indie. We're more indie than that. I don't know. It's like I think.
Yeah, cool or not.
I think there was something about the lyric that I thought, you know, well, man, there's some epic quality to what was going on there. If we did it with a suitably epic track, you know, you could make something out of it. We had fun doing it, man. And you know, it's a song. It's the same 3 chords you hear in most Iron Maiden songs.
Right,
so
right.
I think to me everything's the same thing, man. And so that I'm just trying to prove it.
There you go.
All right, we are in the studio. You're listening to Rock Hard with Jay Conroy on RockHardRadio1.com from New York City. Thank you so very, very much for being here. Once again, we are in the studio with Aurelian and Angus from DareDevil Squadron. We've been playing a lot of their tracks. So much material to cover here. We're going a long time, but this is really, really good. They're the 2 guitar players in the band. And they brought in some acoustic guitars, and they're going to do some jamming for you. So I'm going to turn it over to them. Guys, talk a little bit about what you're going to do and say what you want to say, play what you want to play.
Well, I would say in absence of our lead singer, we're going to do sort of an improvised instrumental version of one of our songs called Power Trip. And, you know, we're just going to play the riffs around a little bit and trade some licks like the Cats do, and you know, try to take it back home somehow, and you know, and that's what's going to happen.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Spontaneous combustion going on right here in the studio.
1, 2,
You guys have played together once or twice before, huh?
Not in a while.
That sounded fucking great, man. Now, what song was that?
This is called Power Trip.
Power Trip. We haven't played Power Trip.
Yeah,
we
maybe.
did play Power Trip?
No, we haven't played it.
Okay, good. So I'm glad that we played something.
Yeah.
You played something that we haven't played. We haven't played on the album.
There
The
you
live
go.
version's good
Yeah.
too. If you want to, that would be a world premiere
Oh yeah.
if you played the version from the live.
All right, let's do that. You want to do that right now?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
When she gets going, well, she said she likes to do it all night. Oh, yeah. It gets you thinking, man, you really hope you're doing it right. Yeah, right. When she gets going, well, she says she likes to do it all night. It gets you thinking, and you really hope you're doing it right. Yeah, right. This is a power trip, bitches. She likes to do it all night. It gets you thinking, and you really hope you're doing it right. Yeah,
All right, there it is. Acoustic and electric live Power Trip recorded in Brooklyn. When and where in Brooklyn was that recorded?
That was at a venue called Brooklyn Bowl,
Oh, sure, yeah.
and it was, I believe, in May 2012 that we played a gig there, and you know, we recorded the whole gig, and this is what, you know, came out of it, and this is actually a world premiere right here on Rock Hard, because nobody else has heard this stuff.
Well, cool. I'm glad we could be the ones.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We
Yeah.
played Brooklyn Bowl before Guns N' Roses played Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah, what was that
Like
all
that,
about?
so-
Guns N' Roses playing Brooklyn Bowl. Come on. You know, look, here's my take on Guns N' Roses. And one thing I never try to do on this show is badmouth bands, because it's bad business, all right?
Except Mumford & Sons.
Mumford & Sons is not a rock band, so therefore I don't give a fuck. All right?
Go on.
I'll bang Air Supply. I don't give a shit. So, you know, I was around when Guns N' Roses came out, and I was fortunate enough to see them a few times, probably 5 or 6 times, with the original lineup kicks ass. Well, now it is so diluted, it's Axl and a bunch of sidemen. And I understand that there's a lot of people that never got to see Guns N' Roses. And it seems to me that they're going to see this as a name as opposed to a band. It's Axl and a bunch of fucking people. It's like a revolving door in that band. I don't know who's in the band, who's out of the band. You know, they're playing Brooklyn Bowl like it's a big fucking deal. But if that was the original Guns N' Roses, they would have had to do 10 nights at Brooklyn Bowl. You know? So, you know, being as I open the door, I mean, what's your take on the formation of Guns N' Roses now?
Oh well, I got a soft spot for this lineup because I happen to the drummer Frank and I played in a couple of bands together.
Oh, there we go, Jay. You fucked that one up, didn't you?
No,
He's friends with the drummer.
But I'll
Good
talk-
question.
But I'll talk to your point about the Brooklyn Bowl thing. I think is more a question of economics. Like you're right, people are paying to see that band, you know, based on the name recognition of the band. And so many bands have gotten into that same quandary, you know, like Tony Iommi owned the name of Black Sabbath
Right.
during a whole bunch of years, but he kept it alive. Aerosmith kept their thing going in the, you know, the Jimmy Crespo
Rick DeFay period, yep.
era, you know, like these guys, you know, make a important decision probably with their management and so on and so forth to keep the, you know, the brand name in the consciousness and keep it, you know, a touring you know, package out there that they feel properly represents, you know, the band name. The Brooklyn Bowl thing talks more about, like, you know, this whole marketing angle where you can sell a small club. I don't know, what did the tickets for that go for? I mean, it must have been like $1,000 a ticket. Like I can just
Was it really?
I can just imagine. Well, what do you think a scalper would get for that?
Oh, a scalper, yeah.
And the scalping market is part of the real ticket market. I mean, everybody's counting on that money at this point. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? The reseller
Oh, yeah.
market is part of what, you know, the promoters get a piece of it.
Yeah.
So you've got all that going on. So I think that's the stuff to me that's the most interesting in terms of, you know, I'm sure that band rocks that material, you know, really hard as a bunch of seasoned professionals.
Right,
do.
that
You know,
they are. I'll give
Fortis
them that.
is an amazing guitar player, you know, and I know Frank's an amazing drummer and stuff like that. So, you know, and it's a great songbook to get to play. You know, if Axl, you know, if you want to see Axl Rose sing the material, you're going to get to see Axl Rose sing the
Right.
material, backed up by, you know, a really great band. But the original lineup is not an option
No.
for the people. You know what
It
I
is
mean?
not
Like
an option.
those guys are not going to do that, and I think God bless them all. I mean, Slash is working so hard. Everything he does is amazing. I
Yeah,
love
Slash isn't missing Axl.
I love all the stuff that he's doing, and Duff, everything that those guys are doing, and you know, and they're still alive, man. I mean, that's awesome. You know, I'd say if you want to do it right, take this year, go see Guns N' Roses, go see Slash. You know,
Yeah.
Velvet Revolver comes back out, go see
Right.
them. You know what I mean? Like, and then
Which
know,
I've seen them all.
Yeah. You know.
You know, I think my problem really with them was really with Axl when he started pulling that shit of making people wait for 2 hours before he would come out, and just that whole prima donna thing, and people getting hurt and causing riots, and it's not like, you know, he's got a reputation for being on drugs. So the thing that bothered me is just, you know, some, you know, whacked out prima donna that just has no concept of reality anymore, and he's just got people just waiting hours on end for him to come out. I got fed up. You know? And then 13 fucking years for that Chinese democracy, which that was nothing to write home about either. You know?
That's part of the experience in a way, I feel, you know?
In what way?
You know, it's like you're building that anticipation for better or worse, you know. Obviously it's bad when people riot and when people get hurt, or, you know, but that's part of seeing Guns N' Roses.
That's some proper rock star shit.
Yeah.
Is what that is. But it's impractical, and a person with a practical mindset like yours, Jay, would not take kindly.
It's annoying as fuck,
to be
right?
forced to hang around, you know, and keep in mind, back when you did that, you didn't have a smartphone. You couldn't entertain yourself.
Well, quite honestly, I was done seeing them when that shit started, so I never waited for them.
Yeah.
And I will say, in the beginning, when they came out, I mean, they were the real fucking deal. It was incredible. It was like the first band in a long time that was like, these guys aren't fucking around. This is not glam. This is not pussy shit. I mean, this is the real fucking deal. And I mean, I saw some of the most intense crowds at Guns N' Roses concerts that I had ever seen anywhere. I mean, they hit the stage and it was just like this rush toward the stage and people just going fucking nuts like you just don't see, you know? So maybe that's kind of my problem with it, is that's all gone, you know, and you got what you got here. So, all right, we talked about it.
I don't know what we established. I think
we didn't establish anything, but, you know, we got our opinions out.
There are differing opinions on exactly what's going on over here.
You know, because I've had, you know, younger guys say to me, oh man, Guns N' Roses. I'm like, dude, you're not seeing Guns N' Roses. You know, you're seeing Axl and a bunch of sidemen doing the song. To me, it's just not the same. So, anyway, that's with that. Speaking of Ozzy and Black Sabbath that we've been talking about a lot, you guys, when you played Brooklyn Bowl, did a cover of Fairies Wear Boots.
Yes.
Now, I gotta tell you, Fairies Wear Boots, it is hands down my girlfriend's favorite Sabbath song and one of my favorite Sabbath songs. I fucking love that song.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it today and I'm going, but the key thing here is going to be when the vocals kick in. It's all, you know, the guitars, okay, fine. I'm like, okay, they got it, but let's hear the singer. And the fucking singer nailed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fucking good.
He's a badass.
He is a badass, man. He really is. I mean, you know, Ozzy has, excuse me, Ozzy has a distinct voice. It's not easy to duplicate, but this guy did a real good job, as the band did a real good job, because Sabbath, you got to be fucking dead on, you know, to really nail Sabbath. So take a listen to this, Fairies Wear Boots by DareDevil Squadron. Here we go. Check it out on Rock Hard with Jay Conroy on rockhardradio1.com from New York City.
coming out, everybody. We're the DareDevil Squadron. And these are our names. On the drums, Mr. Jason Gianni. On the bass, Pipperton Roach. On this guitar, Aurelian Budanek. And on this guitar, my partner in crime, Mr. Angus Clark. And my name is Andrew Ross, otherwise known as Awesome Wolf. Well, fairies wear boots and you gotta believe me. I saw it, I'll tell you no lie. Yeah, fairies wear boots and you gotta believe me. I saw it with my own two eyes. Whoa! So I went to the doc, see what he could give me. He said, son, you've gone too far. 'Cause smoking and tripping is all that you do. That's all we got. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us. DareDevil Squadron.
Guys, fucking smoke that.
Thank you.
Fucking smoke that. That is not easy to do. You guys are fucking some kick-ass guitar players. For sure. I mean, I've seen you play live,
Yes.
electric. Tonight, Angus, is the first time I'm seeing you play an acoustic, and you do a hell of a job. I can hear on the album, you know, how good you guys are. And I mean, I've seen you play again live, and it's just phenomenal, the shit that comes out of your guitar, man. You guys are really, really good.
Thank you.
One of the things I want to talk about is when we met, you had said to me, "Oh yeah, I got this gig tonight," and I'm like, "Oh okay, where at?" And you're like, "It's on Broadway." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what are you playing?" You go, "Oh, did you ever hear of a show called Rock of Ages?" And I'm like, "Dude, what are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "That fucking show is huge, for God's sakes, you know." And our age difference, you're younger than me, and we talked about this, and you being from France. And I said, okay, you know, give me a run through of what these songs are played. You know, what songs are played during there. And I was like, this shit was all over the airwaves in the 80s. I don't know if it was there in France. You're probably better off if it wasn't over there in France. Here I go dissing shit again. But the shit I'm dissing, this shit, you know, it deserves to be dissed. So, and when you're naming me the songs, I'm going, okay, so there's 4 guitar players that you're better than already. That are fucking, you know, you're filling in and playing these songs. They're better than the originals. So, tell me how you landed that gig, and also you talk. I want you to talk about the the subbing, how there's multiple subs for each person in those plays. So
Well-
how did you get into it, and then tell me about the subbing.
Well, there's in fact multiple subs on this show because Angus right here also subs on that show,
Oh, really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
and he's
You see what you
actually
learned.
he is the person that got me on that gig in the first place.
Aha! So you're a big. So you're. Go fucking figure. I'm glad I brought it up. That's why when I was like, I asked you, can I bring this up? And Angus is over there going, yeah. And I'm like, oh, Angus is talking for him. No, now I know why.
Yeah, so that's that's how it started. The show started in 2009, I believe, the Broadway production, or maybe 2008.
Yeah, moved to Broadway in 2009.
2009, and you got on pretty early on, right? Or
Yeah, I got
right about when it started.
Yeah, well, it was soon after. So like, and we have to blame our lead singer Andrew for the whole thing because Andrew actually went to see it, and then
Well, I hear it's great.
it is
People say it's very funny. It's great. So go ahead. Andrew went to see it.
So Andrew went to see it, and I was saying, man, I need some work. I needed some work.
Right.
And it was like, well, dude, you should go down and check that out, man. It's like the whole show starts with the lead guitar player comes down to the front of the stage, goes down on one knee with a light in his face and a fan blowing his hair back and rips this massive solo. And then, they're off and playing Just Like Paradise by David Lee Roth, and tons of guitar solos and bands on stage the whole time. It's a lot of fun.
So you
It's
get to play some
hilarious.
Steve Vai there. Was
Everything.
Didn't
Yep.
Steve Vai play?
Yeah, that's right.
So, one of my tips for success is that it really only takes you 3 phone calls to get to whoever you need to get to in life. You will find that it's not 6 degrees of separation. 3 phone calls will get you.
Now, who do I make
to
these
you
phone
need-
calls to?
That's you got to follow your nose into
I
that
see.
one. But
Okay.
and it all tied into where we were making the DareDevil Squadron record. We were making the DareDevil Squadron record in a studio in Brooklyn, and the guys there came up with Konstantin Maroulis. They were like buddies with Connie from back in the day.
Wow.
And Andrew told me, you should get your name in the hat over there. And I was like, all right. And I said to the guy at the studio, hey, can you get my number to Connie? I want to get seen about going in at Rock of Ages. And so he gave my number to the other guitar, to Tommy Kessler, who's one of the chair holders down there, who also plays for Blondie. And I got a call from Tommy and went down, and it turned out that Joel Hoekstra, who's the other guitar player there, and I had already met previously, and I'd made a good impression. God knows, thank God, I was on good behavior that day, and so it was very organic at that point because I knew at least 2 people in the room, and the rest of the guys, a bunch of New Yorkers, would go way back. That pretty similar age range and stuff like that. I was in there for a while, started subbing on both chairs, and then Joel mentioned that he needed somebody, and I was like, I know this French guy. And
Now, why did you have to refer to him as this French guy?
I said you need to call the Frenchman. If you want a quality guitar player subbing in on this, you need to call the Frenchman. You'll be happy with it. And it was just because whatever, you've heard Aurelian play. It's come on.
So you guys, how often do you guys work on that show?
It comes and goes, Me personally, I only fill in for Guitar 1, which is that's Joel Hoekstra, and he's busy. He also plays with Night Ranger, so he's out on weekends a lot and stuff like that. So or he goes out on tour for multiple weeks, so it can go from doing it once a month to doing 14 shows a month.
And I thought I read on your Facebook page that you did the show 70 times last year.
Probably around that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I've done it about 200 times total.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's good pocket money, man. For that shit.
Pocket money takes you a long way. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Angus, how about you? How often do you play there?
Man, I haven't counted up the number of shows. I have to look at my pay stub from last year.
And
in
you
order to
got-
figure
Well,
it
let
out.
me put it
Get
to you
those
this way:
checks.
how many years have you been
Well,
subbing
since
over there?
2009, I think
Okay.
I started around the time we were making the
So
record.
like you're going on like 5 years.
Yeah, and it'll be because I sub on both chairs. I sub both guitar 1 and guitar 2. So if I do like one weekend for Joel, that'll be anywhere from 3 to 5 shows, maybe on that one chair, and then on Tommy's chair if I do another. So I'll do it anywhere 6 to 10 times a month is usually the average. And then there's times where like Blondie goes out on a full blown tour, and if everything comes together exactly the right or wrong way, depending on how you look at it, I wind up playing the entire 8-show week. Which, man, an 8-show week on Broadway, I got to give it
It's a
up to
bitch.
those people.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That is
You do what, like 2 shows on a Tuesday or something? And-
Saturdays and Sundays. So the matinees are Rock of Ages. So it's double on Saturday, double on Sunday.
Okay, so what days are you off?
Tuesday.
So
Oh, no,
just
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
You're off on
I'm gonna get that
Wednesday.
wrong. Wednesday's the only day.
So
off.
4 shows. So 2 shows on Saturday, 2 shows. Okay, I see. I'm doing the math in my head there. Wow, that's a lot.
That's demanding for sure. Yeah.
And it's not like being on tour. You just get on the bus, drink a beer, and fall asleep in your bunk. It's you got to get on the subway and ride the cold ass smelly train back to, back to Brooklyn or
Yeah,
Queens.
that's the beauty of Broadway.
These are
Everybody
uptown-
leaves
these are
and
uptown problems, to be sure. I'm
Yeah.
not complaining. It's
You,
just
you say it like it's a bad thing.
no, but it's just funny because you're out there in front of all these people and they're worshiping you, and you're like, yeah, and you're feeling good because you just rocked, and then you're on the fucking subway going back home. It's the way it is.
You
though.
got to take the trash out.
Yeah, when you get, that's the way it is. That's the shit that keeps you grounded, though.
Exactly.
So, I want to thank you guys very, very much for coming in. I tell you, man, we had no problem filling this time. We're gonna have to make this actually into 2 shows. Because you guys just ate up my entire fucking show. I don't even have to do anything, really. I could just air this and go, hey, here's the show. But, I'd rather make it into 2 parts and keep the audience coming back. So,
Great.
plug your stuff. What do you guys want to say?
Well, if you like what you heard, check us out on www.daredevil.squadron.com and learn about us and come check us out at a show sometime soon, I hope. We have one album out called Out of the Sun that you can buy on the website. You can listen to it on the website. You can buy it on iTunes. You can buy it on Amazon. You can steal it on many sites, I'm sure. And we're currently working on a second album. We're in the process of recording it right now, so keep an eye out for that. And we've got those few live tracks, which you heard one earlier. And we're not really sure what we're going to do with that, but we're going to release it in some shape or form sometime soon. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Any plans for the band to play out?
We're focusing on recording right now, but I'm sure, yes, we will be playing out this year at some point, at least to break those new songs in and, give a taste of this new material to the audience and see what they think about it and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be out playing in New York at some point this year.
All right, Angus?
That's it. Aurelian has summed it up perfectly. DareDevilSquadron.com, the album Out of the Sun. Check it out. Look for new stuff this year. We'll send out a flare when the album's coming out and when we're playing live. And we'll be sure and let you know, Jay, and you can let all of your fantastic listeners know. Thank you very much for having us.
It was
you, Jay.
my pleasure. You guys stood up. You guys definitely stood up. And, it was a lot of fun. And again, I want to thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you. Best of luck over there at Rock of Ages. Maybe I'll get over there one of these days and see
Yeah.
the show because I was so anti going, I ain't going to see that shit.
You'll love it, man.
That's what everybody says. They're like, it's funny, it's good. I mean, when you named the songs to me, I was like, oh man, all those songs, And I think I've done enough trashing for today, so I'm not going to trash any of these songs. Not even "We built this city, we built this city on rock and." That's one of them, right?
That
Oh,
sure
yeah.
is. Yeah.
You know that was voted like worst song a few years back.
I remember that.
Right? And we actually, TV show I worked on, we actually had the singer in. He was on the phone. He was a phoner talking to me. I said, how do you feel? And, you know, he ran with it. Yeah, Mickey Thomas. He ran with it. He was like, you know, look, I think there's a lot worse songs than this. He said, but, you know, what the hell? It's publicity, and I'm going to go with it, you know? So... there it is. All right, I won't trash anything more. Sister Christian, I actually like that song. That's in the show, right?
Yeah.
I just love that song, always did. And I know you guys are Night Ranger fans because your buddy is in there, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, they still do a great show, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah, cool band. All right, thanks again, guys. You have been listening to Rock Hard with Jay Conroy on rockhardradio1.com. Once again, want to thank DareDevil Squadron for coming in the studio. We will see you guys soon. Rock hard.